Welcome, welcome, everybody. I'm Terry at Holding Your Space, and here is Aley, Heart and Soul Connected.
Thank
Welcome,
you so
Aley.
much. And I'm going to point this way, even though it's crazy. It's counterintuitive, right?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway,
Reverse.
thank you, Terry. It's a beautiful day here in Washington. It's 83 degrees outside today. Just gorgeous. It's like midsummer. And
Wow.
so we're outside pulling weeds earlier. And that seems to that grounded me because I took my shoes off. So I'm grounded and I'm ready to go.
Oh, good for you. I went for a walk barefoot. We didn't go very far, but
Oh,
I
good for
like to
you.
go out there barefoot when I can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is
Uh-huh.
73 here right now. So,
That's still a good temperature, not too humid, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's humid today. We've
It
had a
is
lot of
humid?
rain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's like fog.
Oh,
It's not pretty. It is beautiful, but it's
yeah,
not, yeah.
yeah,
It
I
it will
get
get it will get like that. So, gonna say hello to some beautiful people. Heart and Soul Connected is here, first of all, first in the room. Bora
Mhm.
Bora, hello.
Hi, Janet.
Um, Lottie B's
Lottie
here.
B. Yeah.
Jessica Lynn, welcome, welcome. And I know there's
Welcome.
other people coming in because I see the numbers.
Okay.
And welcome everybody.
Christine.
There's Christine. Hey, Christine.
You aren't alone, Christine. We were just talking. We're going to talk a little bit about that, I think, before we start, right? What's coming
Yeah,
up?
I
Yeah.
think we should. And
Yeah, I do too.
I did not read the article that you sent me.
Mhm.
But I know that we're going to get slammed today, aren't we?
We are. Yes.
Yeah.
So I sent if you go on to CNN, you can see it. It's actually one of their, on their, on the internet, just go CNN.com. It's a big article. The solar storms that we're having today and within the next few days are the worst they've been in 165 years. They said that the storm flares are 3 times the size, the width of Earth. So you can only imagine what that would, it's enveloping us. And the last time it was this bad, it knocked out the telegraph because there wasn't anything else. It was 165 years ago. People didn't have the telegraph for like months. So
Wow.
we may have satellites going out. We may have our wireless going, our internet, whatever. Hang in there. Hopefully it won't give us a brownout or unfreeze all our frozen foods, but be aware. Be
Oh
aware that
yeah. I hadn't
it's
thought
there.
about that. Our
Yeah.
our city is offline.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, it has been. The city services,
Okay.
the government, city government has
Mhm.
been offline for I think this is the third day. And the
Oh.
mayor came on to say, everything's continuing as normal. You just can't get anything
Mhm.
approved,
Mhm.
or whatnot, but trash
Right.
collection, police, everything is fine. But,
Okay.
I'm probably thinking they're being held ransom for their,
It wouldn't
that's what
surprise me. Yeah.
happens.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
surprise me. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
lots of stuff going on. Hey, Val, Pure Visionary, or Pure
No,
Visionary.
it's Terry.
Terry. That's the
So
other Terry.
it's traveled
Yeah,
faster than they thought. Yeah, I know it's really bad, Terry. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
Terry has a bunch of information on her community page, everybody.
Oh, good.
So Pure Visionary Psychic Medium, be sure and go there, subscribe and
Mhm.
like.
Yeah,
And then when you get done with that business,
that's right.
she's really been studying this. So,
Yeah,
but do
yeah.
you want to talk about what people can do, like to protect themselves emotionally or psychically or?
Well, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think all of us have been experiencing different physical symptoms of late. I know that Marina had a migraine headache for at least 5 days,
Mm.
and she finally took some knockout medicine so she could get some relief at some point. Other people are having a problem. I couldn't sleep last night. I think I was awake until 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I fell back asleep. But we can protect ourselves if you're feeling like it's such a beautiful day here. I'd love to spend the day outside, although I have to be careful of getting a sunburn. But I think we really have to um, remember that all of this, I believe, is part and parcel of what we're transmuting to. And it's so we're right in the middle of this energy shift, this vibrational shift, and then we got the storms coming in, and it's like unbelievable. And I remember telling my students a couple of years ago, what would happen to you if your phone went offline? Oh, I can't live without my phone. What? I said, well, back in the day, the telegraph went off for months and months and months. And, how do we know how long it might take to fix it? So,
Yeah.
have a backup plan.
Right.
Get some cash. Get some cash. Yeah,
Yeah.
ATM machines may not work if you
Yeah.
need it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Julie put 2 shungite chips on the back of her phone. Yeah,
That's a
I always
great
have shungite sitting on my desk now because I'll fly away. But,
Mhm.
um,
I
yeah,
get it.
Christine has a moon scarab, cash and gas.
Ah,
Very
there
fast.
you
Well,
go.
maybe I'll run by the bank. I usually have
Yeah.
a
I
little ooh, is that
That's a
shungite?
Labrador. It's a Labradorite. Yeah. Yeah. I love
Give
it.
it
So
that
nice.
stone. Will you
I
show
know.
your orange calcite too?
Yeah, yeah. I think some people may have seen it, but I got this online at a metaphysical store, and I can't remember the name of it, but I'm going to tell Terry, and she can tell you.
I'll post it.
But it's a big point. Look at my hand. I mean, look how big. That's how big the point is, and it's an orange calcite. It's really, really good for healing, and you don't need this size to have it work. It just so happens that this one is just a big one that I found because.
Yeah.
Here's another piece of calcite that was sent to me, and it's a raw piece, but you can see this is just as good as this. This is just more polished. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a
yeah,
beautiful stone. Those are both beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi,
Um,
Kelly.
this morning in meditation, they were showing me that when we kind of got there to the in between part, the um, state of consciousness, that there was something we could do with our hair. And it was like, it was just the vibratory
Oh,
with your hair and weave it, whether you have hair on your head or not, it didn't matter. But
uh-huh.
just imagine like cords that were weaving like a helmet to kind of soften things
Oh,
and protect things coming in.
ooh, I like that
Oh,
idea. Yeah, I
Terry
like
Lee
that.
says if you're not using your computer today, shut it down.
Okay. Yeah, you
That's
don't
good.
want to have a surge. At least have it on surge protection, right? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Lori says, Val mentions upside to all of these energies coming in from the sun. We need to ask her about the sun flares
Yeah.
during your show tonight. Is she going
Yeah,
to be on your show
absolutely.
tonight?
She is.
Yeah.
She's coming on at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 Eastern, and I sent her the same article, but she's pretty tapped into that stuff. So
Yeah. I think she
that's
is
great.
too.
Hi, Ramon. Yeah.
I think,
Wow,
hey,
we got a
Ramon.
lot of people here.
Yeah,
Julie,
we got a
I
little
know.
group here, big group. So
Lisa,
welcome
Mary,
everybody.
Janet. My goodness, Janet. Yeah. Thanks all for being here. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Um, another thing to remember is that we're not alone when all this happens. I think you just mentioned that, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but like we have and a lot I recognize a lot of people that come to the morning meditations, whether you
Mhm.
come once a year or every Monday through Friday, it doesn't matter. Just know that at 8:11 in the morning, Central Time, if you have a clock that still works,
Uh-huh.
you can
Uh-huh.
meditate and be with your group. And
Yeah.
since there is no time or space, we really don't need that even. Just know that you're
You can
connected
come
with
later. Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's all.
really important.
Very
Anyway,
nice. Yes. Louisa. Thanks everybody for spending some time with Terry and I. We're happy to be
yeah.
here. We try to do each week, but things come up, and Terry's got a visitor coming next week, so we're going to be every other week. We try at the very least to hit, don't we, Terry?
We do. We do
Yeah.
try to hit it every other week. And sometimes we
Yeah.
get really good and it's every week. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, Janet, you got your start in Kansas City. That's right. She's a KC girl.
There
Um,
you go.
yeah. So, would you like to go first today?
I can. I don't even
Okay.
have any notes. That's how much I love this person.
Oh, I
So,
love it.
um, in 2014, um, I was told by a friend of mine to check out something on YouTube and listen to this particular concert. So this is a concert. And the minute that I watched it, and I never seen it before, and I don't know where I was. What was I on Mars or something? But the minute I watched it, I felt an instantaneous connection with the lead singer, and it made me cry. It was like soul recognition, and I it was just amazing to me. So in 2014, I decided to write a book about this person, and then I didn't finish it because this person is a perfectionist and I'm not. And I felt like he would say, well, you should probably rewrite this part of this part. Anyway, it's all there. It's all there, but I just haven't done anything with it. So, born in 1946, Farouk Balsara came to us from Zanzibar. He was a Zoroastrian, and he was born to his parents and has a younger sister named Jur. Oh, no, his mother's name is Jur. Oh, I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, but she's a younger sister. Anyway, by the time he got to be 16, I believe, they moved to England because his father was a person who worked in the government system. And so they took him over there. And that's where he started working at Piccadilly Circus, selling beautiful clothing. And that's where he met the love of his life and made a song by that name to Mary Austin, and changed his name to Freddie Mercury. And he, a lot of people don't even know that was his real name, Farouk, but absolutely beautiful. Farouk was a big clothes horse. Oh my God, he loved, and you can tell the different times he's gone through. You can tell. Now, I used to watch him in the 70s, but we didn't have the visual like we do now. So I would listen to Queen and You're My Best Friend and a few other songs like that, but it just didn't click with me. And of course, the concert that I'm referring to, and if you have never watched it, is the Live Aid performance in 1985, where Freddie Mercury had all those people right in the palm of his hand. They weren't even all Queen fans, and he had them there. The rest of the group is fabulous as well, and they held out and waited many, many, many years in order to do the bio that became Bohemian Rhapsody a few years ago, 2018, I think it was, because they didn't want to sell Freddie short. Freddie is amazing because he tried everything. There was nothing that the guy wouldn't try. So he decided, for instance, to work in the ballet. And they had him in the ballet in the middle of it, and they were hoisting him up and dancing with him around doing the ballet. Then, of course, his vocal range is very high, and he has those very prominent teeth. And he refused to have them taken out because he was afraid that he was going to change his voice, and he didn't want that to happen. So, yeah, I get chills too, Lori, whenever I see that. And actually, Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, starts out with that concert. And I have to tell you, Rami Malek was the best Freddie Mercury that could ever be. It was like they had to wait for him to be born and become the character. So, yeah, it was wonderful. It was probably about the same time that Freddie found out soon afterwards that he had AIDS. But if you look at the Live Aid concert, you will see Freddie as he dances around the stage. There's a guy standing on stage left, if you're looking out, or stage right, and he's clapping. And that's Jim Hutton. And that was the man that he ended up in his last relationship with, and they adored each other. And Jim had never been to a Queen concert at that point. So it's so humbling, But Freddie wasn't careful. Freddie didn't think AIDS was going to do anything. And he didn't, he's like, and I think he was bisexual. he had sex with men, but he also had sex with women, and not just Mary, but he had other women in his life at times as well. And so, but I would say he was a Renaissance man. He was an artist, a writer, a musician, a dancer. He wrote and sang opera with Montserrat Caballé in Barcelona, and wrote the song Barcelona. He was, of course, the lead man, but not the most important person, because Queen was very good about that. They all were very important. And yeah, and believe it or not, he was an introvert. He was an introvert. He didn't, he'd have big wild parties. If you get a chance, check out a couple of the songs he sang. One was his 39th birthday party, and everybody was dressed up in these costumes, and they're all dancing. Living on My Own is the name of the song, and you'll see all his friends dance look like women, and just crazy looking in beautiful costumes. He also did a runway scene with Jane Seymour, where they looked like they were like a wedding couple, and they just really complimented each other, because he really did have a handsomeness to him, if you know.
Yeah.
Not in the classical sense, but yeah. Oh, you like that, Viviani? Oh, you know that the song "I Want to Break Free" was not allowed in the United States because of the Reagans and the Republican Party. They said it was they were gay guys dressed up in drag, and of course Freddie was really the only one, and Brian was happily married, John was, and so was Roger. So it was just, they wouldn't allow it. It took away family values, but it's a fun song. It is a fun song. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on and on, because I've really dug deep into his life. But if you ever haven't seen the Live Aid concert from 1985 for the Queen section, it was a whole bunch of different people, but they had their own section, and he just they had the audience in the palm of their hand. And if you'll notice, he has an armband on, and he wears a white, one of those white sleeveless t-shirts, and he has the beautiful big mustache, he's very handsome, and he's, up there doing this, doing that, like Macho Man, And anyway, you'll see a little red dot on the bottom of his arm right here, and that was Kaposi sarcoma that he didn't know was there. So yeah, it is a must watch. Yeah. Oh, you had a dentist that looked like you. That's cool. That's really cool. So he did die he died in November 1991. His last song that he did, you can tell he was so sick. And so when people say Justin Bieber couldn't go to a concert because he had a cold, Freddie Mercury was dying of AIDS, and he went and did all these beautiful things for. Thank you, Freddie. I just saw him. He blinked in and out.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great. Yeah. So he was a visionary. I think he was both a dilettante and a hedonist. He loved to buy people presents. He bought them all kinds of. He would go down to what's the store in London, and he would just buy all these beautiful scents for people, different. And he took care of his people, but he lived very nicely. He loved, and he also had, I think he had 7 cats, and he loved them. He would call on the phone and ask them guys to put the cat on so he could talk to the cat. So he loved it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Rossi. Harrods.
Yeah, Harrods, thank you. Yes, thanks, Laura. He was a saboteur in that the AIDS crisis was a crisis, and he just wanted to enjoy his sex life with whoever unfortunately killed him, So we all have that in us. We all have a saboteur, not necessarily the sex life thing. But I find he was a prince. Oh, really? I find he is a fool in some ways. And one of the best interviews he ever did, and it's so cute. He's all dressed up and he's got suspenders on, and the guy's talking to him, and he said, "I'm just a musical prostitute, my dear."
I love
Beautiful,
that.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So thank
Amazing.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, I should have put up his picture.
That's okay.
Uh,
Everybody pretty much knows who he is, I think,
yeah, I
especially
guess
since
so.
Bohemian Rhapsody was recently made. But
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
My kids loved them. I mean, that was one of their favorite,
Hmm.
Led Zeppelin and Queen.
Yep. Yep.
They had the
That's
little
right.
CD players in their
Yeah.
rooms, and Bohemian
That's
Rhapsody
cute.
was on all the time. And we had
Uh-huh.
this thing we used to do. We go bum,
Yes.
all the
Buddy, you're
time.
a boy, everybody thought say your name's gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, a
Oh, that's
big
right.
disgrace.
So take it back into
We
your
will
place.
rock you. And it's
Yeah.
funny because Freddie was asked about the song and he said, everybody thinks that's the sports song, but that, somebody else will come along and make another one. And I guess I wanted to say that to me, he's not dead. It's like, I just can't go to go see him somewhere. And I will not go watch Adam Lambert. I don't care for Adam. So
Oh,
yes,
really?
Mary. Yes.
Yeah.
Remember how long it was? And they said, oh, that's never going to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No rock and roll. Get that music off of there. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
The lead singers of the 70s rock bands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Barbara saw both of them in concert.
Oh, you lucky thing. That's
Lucky.
wonderful. Good for you. Good for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Janet was at a dog show on the beach in Italy. Oh, that sounds hard. The teams wore uniforms and we all marched on the sand to We Are the Champions. Oh, that's
Yep.
beautiful. Beautiful, Janet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
in the car. And didn't not Beavis and Butthead, but they probably
Wayne's
did
World.
something.
Wayne's World. Yeah.
When
Yep.
that was classic. Yeah. When they did it, oh my God, I
I
loved
know.
that.
I know. It
Yeah.
was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was just it was such a classic, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It is. It is a classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of young people that are fans of
Huge fans.
Queen, but of Freddie. They just adore Freddie. And so, yeah.
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 Oh,
Wayne's World.
yeah.
Party time.
Yeah. Party on. Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
Party on guard. Yeah. 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 That was, and I love that basement scene too,
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so cute. Yeah. My kids loved him too. We all liked him. That was the beauty of Queen, that everybody
I
liked
know.
him. Yeah. But now the 70s and 80s bands are so hot. Everybody loves them. The kids love them.
We grew up with the best bands, Terry. We really did. And where was I? I was somewhere. Oh, somebody was taking Keith's blood. It was probably at the hospital. And I said something about that. And the girl agreed with me. She said, nobody can touch those bands. And she was probably in her 20s. So I was really happy to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we could afford to go too.
True. Yeah.
As teenagers or in college or whatever, whatever your age was, it was very affordable back then. And now to get a ticket to a concert for a lot of them, it's $100, unless you're seeing somebody that's a little bit smaller.
No, well, I went to see Elton John. I had never seen him. And this was back in 2014 and it was $400 a seat.
Are you kidding me?
No. And I had a rotten seat. I had people standing in front of me drinking and having to pee and go get beer and come back and forth. And the only reason I did it was I knew that would be the only opportunity I'd ever have to do that. It was something special for myself, but I would never do that again. I love Elton John, but not that much.
Yeah. I lucked out. I had a friend that worked for MCA Records.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I got to see him a lot for free, and it was life-changing watching him sing. Yeah, sure. Amazing. Oh, he was in Seattle and it was awful. Heart and Soul Connected.
It was in this huge place, and what was really bad was you're walking to go into it, and there's protesters out there protesting
Oh,
because Elton John is gay.
get out of here.
And this is Seattle, and that doesn't happen usually. The same thing happened when I went to see the Dalai Lama. There were preachers out there preaching that, this man was full of sin and all that stuff. And I'm like, this man is not full of sin. He is a saint.
Well, I don't know if you guys have heard about this group in Topeka, Kansas, but Fred Phelps, I think is his name. Anyway, he would go and protest at like veterans' funerals and whatnot.
Oh, it is a certain church name, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
I can't think of it. I know what you mean.
I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, they were and they would come out with all these signs, like horrible signs and horrible graphics on it. And they were protesting at this church not too far away from me because they had a female minister. It was a Presbyterian church, and she didn't look very feminine, but she was married to a man. I mean, it didn't matter either way.
Yeah, right.
And so they're protesting her because of her looks, basically. Reverend Phelps is despised in Topeka, right, Mary? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The next day was 9/11. And I'm walking by with my daughter is still in the jogging stroller, and I'm just flipping them the bird the whole way as I walk by, and they're like, "Oh, nice, very nice." And I'm like, "Yeah, right."
They protested Robin Williams' funeral because he portrayed a gay man. That's how silly this is all.
Yeah. It's just nonsense, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
It didn't make any sense at all. There's a really good biography or documentary. A guy goes in and lives with them for a while, for like 6 months. And and he's and I think a couple of the kids left after he was there because he was asking questions. So curiosity.
Sure. Yeah.
And well, really, why do you think that? Well, that's the way it is. And then they couldn't back it up. So
Right. Wow.
So I will talk about my lovely person. She was born in the 1930s. She ran for president. She was one of the first, well, supposedly the first female that ran for president. Not the first time I've said that on this show. She was a caricature of a jazz age flapper, and her name was Betty Boop. So Betty was quite, right? And she was also like the first, I'm kind of going back and forth because I didn't print this out. She was also the first real feminist on cartoons. And she was the first female that had her own show and was portrayed as a human, and not like a skunk or something else.
Right.
And she was the only female for a long time that didn't have a male counterpart that was a bigger story than her. She was boop-de-doop. Yeah. So anyway, boop boop be doop. I think that was
Betty
her story.
Boop, Betty Boop be doop. Was that Gracie that was her voice? Gracie?
Yeah.
It was. Okay. Yeah.
Thought so. Yeah. So there is some information about was she whitewashed? Was she really taken from like an African American singer at that time? And the other singer that they thought it might be was a Jewish singer, which and the cartoonist that drew her was also Jewish. So there was a lot of Jewish things. There's a lot of African American slang in there from the time, and it was during the jazz age, and she was a flapper from the jazz age. So I feel like, there is some information about her being whitewashed. She's kind of the archetypical flapper, carefree, heart of gold. In the early days, she is also some guys in the cartoon tried to sexually abuse her. Now, I don't know who does this in a cartoon, but in the 1930s, they got away with it.
Oh
right?
my God.
Yeah. And she fights them off, and she's still a virgin. Like she's a virgin portrayed as a virgin all the way through everything, but she's still very
For her.
sexist or sexual, and I kinda
Yep.
love that we can be sexy and feminine,
Right.
and we don't have to be abused, that we can fight
Right.
back and own our sexuality.
Right.
Because certainly during that time and certainly during these times, women don't always own their sexuality, particularly for girls,
Right.
growing up
Well,
on
they're
that
slut
type of thing.
shamed. That's why. It's like it's
Yes,
ridiculous. Yeah.
it
Totally.
is. It is. It is. So
Yep.
she was a powerful, unabashed sexuality, powerful. Um, and her boyfriend's name, her counterpart, was called Bimbo. I mean, and that's what we call women today.
Before it meant what it means now, right?
Right, right.
Oh,
So,
wow. Wow.
she was the ultimate
Uh-huh.
femme fatale, um, and she was also, a feminist at the same time, which I love that, being able to do both of those. I think they're still using her today, her, her pictures to do things.
Mhm.
I'll just show. This kinda shows, kind of what she went through on her images. I don't know how well you guys can see these,
Oh,
but
wow.
when it started out black and white, she actually started out as a cat, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
I think she was a cigarette girl, Hypnicity. Yeah,
yeah.
the
Okay.
icon of all the biker chicks all over the world, Diana says. Yeah, and then later on, they colorized her. I think Paramount, worked with her at the beginning, and then, the woman that she thought, it was drawn off of her, who was a jazz singer,
Mhm.
um, she sued Paramount Pictures, for using her likeness. I don't know if she ever made any money off that. Yeah, and the French bulldog Pudgy. So, there's a lots of different times and ways that she came across differently. So,
I had no idea that she was once like had a black was African American. I had no idea. I didn't know that about the way that it moved. Wow.
well, she was, I think that it was questionable either way,
Yeah.
if she was or not, because it was all in black and white, and then
Mhm.
also that, uh, some of the slang that she used, I mean,
Okay.
was definitely from that jazz era.
From that jazz era. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't matter, right?
Right.
Um, unless it was whitewashed, that would be bad. But anyway, so,
I love
yeah,
it.
I don't have my archetype cards, but I was gonna say she was the femme fatale, she
Yeah.
was the teacher,
Yep.
she was the warrior, and she was the feminist.
She
So,
was.
yeah,
Sounds like it.
power.
Which it's I don't want to say that I'm always on the side of a porn star, but I tell you that the testimony was beautifully articulated by Stormy Daniels, and the way she came back, for instance, saying, "If I had made it up, I would have made up something much better than this." Things like that. The way that she could handle herself, even though it was a bit too much for everybody. Um, I have to give it to her because they were trying to slut shame her on
Oh,
the
yeah.
prosecution's thing. So, we have to stand up for our sisters no matter what. And I'm thinking to myself, they're always saying that Trump is the sacrificial Jesus, and I say that she was Mary Magdalene. So,
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
I love
So,
that. I love that.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and it
Mhm.
used to be the best job you could get as a female,
Of course. Absolutely.
that's who
Yeah,
had the power.
it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So if you
absolutely
got
right.
married, you had
Mhm.
no power, you had no money.
That's right.
Yeah.
No power, no money, no land, nothing. Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Leisure Studios, Betty Boop. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, but she had this little tiny voice like that. And if you
Yeah.
listen to her talking, it's Gracie Allen, and if you listen to her with her husband, you'll recognize that that's the same voice. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's awesome.
So good.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome.
Mhm.
That was a joy.
Mhm.
I I know a lot of people love her, and and I was never really drawn to her, but I was really drawn to the idea that of her being sexual and standing in her own right and being a warrior. Because
Mhm.
I,
Mhm.
to be quite frank, when I started reading about her, I was kind of worried that perhaps there would be some sexual abuse in there. But
Yeah.
I loved that that sexual harassment happened, and she stood up and she fought him off. And
That's
I thought,
wonderful.
okay, I'm going
Yeah.
with that girl. She's my girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah,
And-
she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're here for questions, or we can just talk about Betty Boop and Queen. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is Connie here?
Yeah.
There's
Connie's
Connie.
here and
Yay, Connie.
Lisa, Randy. Gosh, we have a lot of Pisces greeter. Oh, George Burns was the first to admit Gracie wore the pants. Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
love that, Sherry.
Did you
Hi,
ever hear the
Sherry.
story about George Burns and what he did, Sherry?
Uh-uh.
Um, so George Burns never brought Gracie any flowers. Just never did, never thought of it, never brought her any. And she just knew she'd never get any. And one day she got home and there was a big thing on the table of flowers. And she went up and smacked him across the face and said, "Who was she?" Because he had cheated on her.
He
She
did?
knew right away. Yes. I don't know how many times, I'm thinking it was just once because I think he learned his lesson. But I
Yeah.
remember him saying so. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Hi,
Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
everybody.
yeah, those two were lots of fun. Remember when he played God on those shows?
Oh my God, he was great. And then Freeman, oh God, what's
Yeah,
his first name? Played him
Morgan
next.
Freeman. Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman.
Yeah.
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 Dear
Yeah.
God, I think it
Mhm.
was. Yeah.
Oh, that's good, Sherry. Yeah.
That was
Oh,
incredible.
here's Vicky. She wanting a message from somebody.
Okay. Sorry, Vicky, I missed
Yeah,
that.
he was great. Good.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah, he
out if
was really
you raise
good.
your
Morgan
clothes. Yeah.
Freeman. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
With John Denver.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Esther Jones worked at the Cotton Club in Harlem, had that high pitched baby voice, Baby Esther. Oh, thanks, Rossi.
Yeah.
That's
Baby
interesting.
Esther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get a message from my grandma June? Very independent working woman, ahead of her time.
All right. Sure thing. Yes, T. Lynn, I agree. Yep. Yep. I watched her documentary, actually, T. Lynn. It wasn't something that I wanted. It was like, oh, I want to see this. I just didn't have anything else to watch for some reason. And it was really good. So if you get a chance to watch it, it's very, very, I feel, on Stormy Daniels. It's on Hulu, I think, or one of those. Yeah. All right. Oh, I think I agree with you, Diana, about Reverend Saul. Yeah.
Yeah. And Morgan Freeman. Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
He's around all the time. He's just hilarious these
I know. I
days.
love his voice. It's wonderful. All
Yeah.
right. So Vicky, I get she says, I know that after a while our absence, our faces get a little blurry. The pictures can show us. And of course, we love the younger pictures of ourselves because we do get to choose what age we want to be when we get here. So don't worry. If you're getting older and you still want to be 22, you can be 22 on this side. But yes, I can see that this very motherly, even though this is a male in this picture, very motherly and loves her children and grandchildren. In defense, she says, in defense, I had to stand up for myself. I had to do what it is that I felt was right for myself and my family. And it probably was earlier than a lot of other people would have done that. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we only were able to apply for credit cards since 1980. So remember that. She says, you go looking for me in any location you want. I'm always around. You don't have to get down on your knees, though. She says, just call me in. That makes me happy.
That's so cute.
Uh-huh.
Sherry says Morgan Freeman was here in my city last summer filming a movie. It was all a buzz. We went to eat at he went to eat at all the little mom and pop places every day, take pics
Mm,
and sign autographs.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it
Yeah.
seems like he would be like that, doesn't it?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
oh, she was one of the first women taxi drivers in Seattle. Wow, good for her. Well,
Mhm.
I pulled a divine feminine card for her, and I get Sekhmet. And Sekhmet is one of my favorite deities. She's called the Red Lady. I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Like,
Mm,
it feels like she never or rarely repressed anything. That
mhm,
she stood in her power, like Aley said, and really took care of things, and was able to feel the joy and the anger at the same time. Um,
mhm.
so she says, trust, like sometimes out of the dirt comes the
Mm.
beautiful flower, the coneflower.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes.
trust in yourself right now, peaceful, easy feeling, and um, go forward with passion. So we get the bleeding heart.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, follow your
Beautiful.
heart. Find
Uh-huh.
something that you love. It feels like you are doing something that you really love to do.
Well, she's got
So,
that new little puppy, and that's really changed her world, I think, and it's so adorable. Oh my goodness. So I'm
yeah,
happy for yeah,
yeah,
it's awesome.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Okay.
Hi, Juanita.
Um, welcome, Jen. Jen is a new member for you.
Oh, yes. Thank you
Yeah.
for that, Jen. It's nice
Anybody
to have
that's not a member of Allie's, she's amazing.
oh, you're sweet. Thank you,
Really,
Tam. Yeah.
really. Let's
Mm.
see. Okay, correct. I'm dating now. Would Murray be okay with it?
I think Murray's like giving you a high five, honey. But let's see.
Yeah.
He knows how he knows what your sacrifice was. Um, and yeah. Ooh, Millie, you saw Sekhmet during your meditation yesterday with Terry. That's cool. Wow.
I love Sekhmet.
Uh-huh.
Some people think that she and Durga are too powerful, that
Oh,
they just don't like having that energy around, but I love Sekhmet.
oh yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, Pierrette, I get. He says, come on now, it's time. It's time for you to play. Time for you to play. He said, and the change is really befitting of you. You've finally got your wings and you can do a lot more flying than you were able to do when I was sick and you had to be my caregiver. And the next card I get is familiar steps. He says, I may come in recurring dreams, and because time is a continuum, and I know you'll accept me in those dreams. I'll come visit you whenever you want me to. But I also am so happy that you are taking time to enjoy your life and to play. So that's what Murray said to me.
Wow. That's beautiful. Um, so Murray's coming in with a lot of guidance for you. I feel like you're really connected to your guides right now.
Oh yeah.
Murray's standing in the wings, and there's a lot of other people around you, but they're bringing you a lot of gifts, and I feel like one of them is being able to discern how to have fun right now. Um, they want you to relax, take your time. I
Mhm,
mean, just kind of abide in your heart space. What do you feel like? Does this feel good to you?
mhm.
Um, okay, I'm going to pull another card because I just pulled that card again too. But oh, okay. You know, there's been some darkness. You get the coneflower again.
You get
So
to
there's been
regrow your life. Yeah. That's
yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah, you're blossoming.
Yeah.
And then I pulled the garden sage. So there's going to be a lot of spiritual growth with this, and a lot
Uh-huh.
of remembering what first love was like, remembering
Yes.
what it's like to be happy and to find joy. I remember after my husband passed the first time, my brother and his family were going to Disney World, and they invited us down. And so we
Mhm.
flew down there, and that was the first time that all of us had a belly laugh in like a
Oh,
year. And I
yeah.
remember that first belly laugh. That was huge.
It was like you could still do it after
Yeah.
all that time. Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
beautiful. That's
what is
beautiful.
that feeling? Where did
Yeah.
that come
Where
from?
did that come from? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Julie,
Mhm.
may I get a message from my dad, Ray? Thank you.
You can call me Ray. You can call me Ray J. You can call me Sonny. You can call me Honey, but you doesn't have to call me Johnson. Remember that guy?
Yeah, who was that?
I don't remember his name, but that's what they'd say. Okay, Mr. Johnson, then he'd do it again. You can call me Ray. You can call me Jay. You can call me Sonny. You can call me Honey, but you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
Is he was he on Laugh-In?
I think. Well, yeah, or it was in the mid '70s, so
Yeah,
probably, yeah,
somewhere in that
somewhere in that time.
season. Yeah,
Yep.
I was kind of remember that.
Oh, for heaven's sake! So I get this first, which is the Ouija board. And he's referencing the Ouija board. Oh, you're going to bring that, you're doing that thing there where you're going to bring me in. Okay. And we're saying, no, Ray, it's not the Ouija board. Honestly, we won't be doing the Ouija board today. But he says, was he a wise guy? And I mean, funny. Was he a funny guy, Julie? Does he, here's, this almost looks like John Belushi here, but it isn't. But I get a wise guy. When I get a wise guy, I know my dad is a wise guy, and he comes through that way. And he said, and he's saying, he's happy that you're staying away from any drama. And I don't know if you've got somebody, an older relative that used to always have 100 problems, and everything was a big high drama situation when they were with you. But what he's saying is, of course, he loves you dearly, and he had his own vocabulary. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm just getting that he's big. He's big and he's fun. And I don't mean like he's big even physically, just a big personality, and he's fun. And yeah, he's happy you brought him in. He's happy you used the Ouija board. Oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of smelling some smoke too, Julie. I don't know if he smoked or cigars or pipe, but that's coming in with somebody. So he's coming in with protection for you. And this looks like a dragon egg to me, Julie. So I don't know if you're working with dragons, but it's really beautiful. He's talking about the gifts that you have coming in. Yeah,
he smokes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's talking about you walking in your light right now. He is a dragon, Julie. Okay, yeah, I thought it was a dragon egg. So you're walking in your light right now, and it's like a party time. It's a celebration. Like you're just walking into the ticker tape parade. Everybody's so proud of you up there. And then funny that we're doing oracles and archetypes, because then you came up as the oracle. So here you are, shining your light and going out there.
Absolutely.
So I love this painting too. I don't know
Isn't
if
it beautiful? Yeah,
I don't know if
really
he
is.
was into the arts, but it's just amazing. We use StreamYard Hypnicity.
Most of the time, yes.
Yeah. Do you ever use Zoom?
Yeah, but I can't figure out how to. It's too complicated for me.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody was trying to get me to do something on Zoom the other day, and they were like,
I mean, I'll have a meeting on Zoom, like I do my dream class on Zoom or things like that, but I don't do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. I use it for readings, but I don't do it for anything else.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, acknowledge Harley.
So
Aley,
sweet.
when you're not on, I miss your love, personality, and energy.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, she's beautiful, isn't she?
I always feel better when I'm on, honestly. Even if I have a bad day, I feel like I should be here. So, but some days I just can't make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been through a lot lately.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, everybody will love this. I have a guy that's supposed to price me out fixing the rest of my kitchen, and I'm writing him back and forth. And his name is Charlie Brown. I mean, really? Oh, Lisa, you're sweet. You're right. You're absolutely right. Terry is just as gregarious and lovely. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
sweet. Thank you. Um, Lisa Foster. I love
Charlie
Lisa.
Brown, he's such a clown. That
I
Charlie
know,
Brown.
I was trying to remember the words to that. I love that song.
You feel stuff, just you wait and see. Why's everybody always
Yeah,
picking on
picking
me?
on me. Yeah. Was that Lucy that used to take the football and lift it up before he came? Yeah.
She called him Chuck sometimes too, didn't she? She say, "Listen, Chuck."
Oh, God. They were really flippant. I mean, they
Yep.
were witty. Charlie Brown. Yeah,
They were.
witty.
I remember the parents. Wah wah wah.
Yeah, and I know that's what I sound like, especially when I repeat something for the 5th time and they just smile
Right.
at me and nod.
Sure, Mom. Sure. Okay. I get it.
They're like,
Yeah.
"I said this before, didn't I?" And they're like, "Uh-huh."
I know. Yeah,
Oh,
that I hate that. I didn't like it when my parents did it, and I don't like it when I do it. And they say, "Yeah, Mom, you told us like 10 times." Okay. Sorry.
oh,
Oh, it was
Peppermint
Peppermint
Patty.
Patty called him Chuck. Okay.
Yeah,
You're right. And
yeah.
Pigpen. And Pigpen. Remember Pigpen?
Ah,
That's Pigpen reminds me of Trump. Hypnicity's going to have her channel up next week. Hypnicity's Healing Journey. Well, I love that. Congratulations, Nilani.
that is
Yeah,
the perfect Hypnocity healing
it is.
journey. And I'm
Yes.
so glad that you're using your name too, because you have such a presence here at Hypnocity that
Yeah, that people will know who you are.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
people would just say, "Oh, it's Hypnocity. I'm gonna go over there."
So
Oh,
sorry we've been but your mom's name was Lucy, and what can I say, Lisa? So no offense to a mom. I get here that she either made a promise to you, or you may have made a promise to her uh, about something. I don't know what it is. You would know, or she would know, and she's just recognizing that you have kept up with the promise that you two made for each other. And she says you're such a creative soul. You are creative even in the way you take care of animals. You find creative solutions. You She says, I watch you and I'm amazed by you, Lisa. So she's really feeling the love. And she said, you are my girl. You are perfection. You may not be perfect, but to me, you're my perfect daughter. So how beautiful.
that is so sweet. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, so she's talking about a storm and to be grateful for the storm. So sometimes things happen in our lives, and certainly in the last 6 to 10 years, we've been through all that, right? Lots of things coming in, but she's acknowledging how you've really kept your umbrella in your hand. You've held on to your kitty cat. You're taking good care of them, and that you're on it. That you have a strength in this storm, and nothing's knocking you down. She's talking about it's time to fill up, time to refuel.
I just love that card. It's adorable.
Isn't it so cute? The kitty cat for Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So, and this is the perfect weekend to do it, right?
Yeah.
Mother's Day. So, and
Mother's Day
any of us,
weekend.
yeah, whether
Mhm.
we're female or male, whether we have a plant or a cat or children,
Yeah.
dragons, who cares? It's getting that divine feminine energy.
Mhm.
And balance. They're talking about you finding balance. So, and I love that flower is at the heart.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I
when
love
we
it too.
balance, yeah, when we balance in our heart space,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you had to since you're on your own, Lisa. Yeah, when
She's
you balance,
recognizing that. Yeah.
Yeah. You're balanced in your heart space, honey. I
Mhm.
do feel like something's happening with water. So
Oh,
this can be a deep healing. This can also be physical water that
mhm.
she wants you to drink more, take baths. And it could also mean that I know there's been a lot of weather, I think, around you, hasn't there, Lisa?
I think
So,
so.
um, and acknowledging that sometimes you need to take care of yourself. So, yeah, beautiful energy. She's also, when she first came in, she was talking about Lisa Lou. So, or Lucy Lou. So
Lucy
I don't
Lou.
know.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have the same middle name, but she's just saying something about it, or it could be a nickname that you guys had that you kind
okay.
of shared.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Been crying
Oh,
for weeks. Yes, raining for
okay.
days.
This.
Yeah,
Sorry, Lisa. Much love to you, my dear.
yeah, honey. We are
Honestly.
made up mostly of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Gail says that. She says, like, galactics look at us like this big squish ball of water.
They
And I'm like,
probably say, now that one over there has more water than this one.
which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so welcome, honey. You're such a
Mhm.
beautiful heart, and
Yeah.
you are so treasured and cherished.
Thank you for being such a beautiful carer for all your animals.
Yeah, and for everybody here.
Mhm. Yes.
I think that might be it, you guys. I might have missed some people. I'm double checking, but I think I kind of got everybody.
Let's.
Unless I didn't.
Oh,
I did.
T. Lynn, message from Uncle Chester. She just put it back up, I think.
Where did you see it?
Right near it's 12:58 or
Oh,
2:50.
okay. Way down there.
We can
Okay.
finish that one up. Yeah.
Yeah. Chesta.
All right. Oh, wow. Cool. So there's a saying that, or it's actually a poem. Do not stand by my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am a thousand winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. Do not stand by my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. It's one of my favorite poems. And that's what comes up when I get this, the grave. So, I mean, it could be that no one is standing by the grave anymore, kind of trying to talk to Uncle Chester. Because Uncle Chester, you can talk to at home. You can talk to him when you're in the yard doing the yard work. I mean, it's a sense that we all, some people just like to have a place to go. I really do think, and that's why they go to these. But I get here, he might have been a sports guy, whether he played sports or not, or he loved to watch sports. I see a kind of like he was very competitive and he had his teams that he liked. Um, and he said, and of course, nothing better than his tribe. And so he's acknowledging you. He's acknowledging his brothers and sisters if he had them, and his own children and if he had them as well. And then he says, he wants you to choose your adventure. He wants you to come up with conscious discoveries and manifest what it is you want and choose your adventure. Life is an adventure. Staying at home, doing the same old thing every day doesn't get the your life energy out there, but you can always travel at night too, because lucid dreaming, he was lost at sea. Okay, sweetheart, that's why he has no. Okay, then that must mean he had no grave because he's in the middle of sea. Wow. He wants you to choose your adventure. He said I had to choose mine. So wow, my heart's with you. um, my dad was away in 1942 and was deployed, and he was gone for 4 years, and my brother was born in September of that year, and so many young men right in the prime of their life, losing their lives, losing their families, and being so far away. It's very sad. I think he's happy that you remembered him. So thank you, dear. Hi, Carolyn.
Hey, Carolyn. Yeah.
Wow.
He was, I don't know if he was a smoker or if you knew about that or not, but like those old Camels, he's just kind of showing those to me. It could be some people around him, but you know how they used to kind of smoke like so, and between their thumb and their index finger. He's acknowledging medicine. So, Lynn, I don't know if you're working with medicine or if this is something new that's coming into you, but he's acknowledging that you have a gift. And then when we start talking about gifts, guess who shows up? But Reverend Saul. So
wow.
I can't remember if it was Ness or Hypnicity that sent me a picture of this card. And I was like, and it looks exactly like Reverend Saul. Exactly.
It does.
So I think you're remembering this ancient wisdom. And he's kind of acknowledging that something that you're doing is coming in with it. And also to go with the flow. So he's saying I think with this, he's acknowledging his ending here in that lifetime. And he said it was just going with the flow. It was like the oceans opened up and the skies opened up at the same time. And he just he's saying that there were others around him that were leaving at the same time. And it's just it was like just moving to a different plane. So how beautiful it was.
Wow.
Yeah. She says, fascinating tidbits of what I have learned of him was a merchant marine, not recognized by the military. I believe he did. Following Depression era, he moved around before joining the Merchant Marines.
Yeah. Yep.
How exciting. I mean,
how
what
exciting
an
is
exciting
right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He lived, I think you're right. He lived on his own terms, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yep.
Yeah.
Diana just sent me a video from YouTube, and it says first impact level 4 storm. It started earlier than they thought, and it's there's somebody that's saying there's the conductivity along the New Madrid fault line is concerning. Aren't you close to the New Madrid fault line?
Yeah. I am. It's the biggest part of it goes through a little bit east of me.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll be beachfront property, they say.
Oh boy.
If it were to really blow.
Okay.
So yeah, stellar storm today. I know, you know that guy Dutchies, he has a earthquake.
Yep.
Yeah. He's quite interesting. Yeah, but he's been posting his all the stuff that he's done. He lives outside St. Louis.
Oh.
So
okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
So I think that's about it, you guys. I know I missed a few people and I'm sorry about that. But
thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, it was so much fun to see everybody. And thank you for being here.
Of course.
Freddie.
It's my pleasure. Yeah. Thank you.
Your buddy, your friend. So,
yeah.
Just beautiful energy. All right, everybody. Well, be safe. Remember, you're never alone and you're always cherished. We'll talk to you later.
That's great. Bye-bye.
Okay.